Hello everyone and welcome back to your piano lesson. If you are here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda, your virtual piano teacher. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch the introduction video of this channel. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video, where you will find also the link for my artistic channel, Gianluca Fronda, pianist and composer, if you're interested in original music and covers. Talking about this channel, don't forget to subscribe and let me know about yourself by commenting. Tell me when you have started, if you're finding my channel interesting and you're improving your skills also thanks to my videos. And don't forget also to share with your friends if there is anybody interested in piano music, anybody that you know. So now time to go to our lesson. Welcome to the 17th music theory lesson. If you have missed any of the previous lessons, you are more than welcome to watch all of them. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video, the link of the playlist where you will find all of them. Today I want to show you the rest of Quaver, Semiquaver and Demisemiquaver. Then I want to show and talk about the double and triple dot that you can add after the notes. Because we explained only the simple dot, and I want to explain how to use the double sharp and the double flat and which power they have. Let's start from the explanation of the rest of Quaver, Semiquaver, Demisemiquaver, and why not also Hemidemisemiquaver, since we are talking about them. Now, rests of Quaver, Semiquaver, Demisemiquaver, and Hemidemisemiquaver. Very funny names. Obviously in the American English they would be the rest of 8th note, of 16th, of 32nd and of 64th. So it's quite simple, exactly like you, for example, let's use anyways clef sign, treble clef, same as this one is a single quaver. This one would be a single rest of quaver. So it's expressed using this kind of oblique line and this curved line with a small circle here. For example, the semiquaver would be expressed using, obviously you can do in different ways, these flags or tails would be expressed using, obviously, again the slash, this small line, oblique line, and two of them. So exactly same as the tails or flags of the notes. The demisemiquaver, the note would be expressed in this way with three, and these now very easy to be understood that you will need three of them. And the hemidemisemiquaver, if the sound is this 1, 2, 3 and 4, the rest sign would feature 4 of them. I'm doing very big, but obviously in the printed version of them on the books they are definitely smaller. So with these rest signs we are completing the package of rest signs, because I explained the 4 counts rest, the 3 counts, the 2 counts and 1 count rest, and I was missing this one. That's all. So quaver, rest of quaver, rest of semiquaver, rest of demisemiquaver and rest of hemidemisemiquaver. It is obvious that the dot can go also straight after the rest of quaver, for example. The dot in this case would have the same identical power. You can, for example, start a piece having a rest of dotted quaver, for example, and with a semiquaver. That's all, because the quaver, the rest of quaver is half count, half beat. The dot is adding half of these value, that would be a semiquaver, rest of semiquaver. So it's like, imagine that you are in a 4/4 time signature. This is taking 3/4 of count, 3/4 of beat, and this one is completing. So 2 semiquavers hidden in the quaver, in the rest of quaver, plus 1 here, plus 1 more 16th, so 2/16 plus 1, you're completing the quarter. But just to mention that also after the rest sign you can get the dot. Now it's time to talk about the double dot and the triple dot. Double dot, triple dot. What do I mean? I mean that, for example, let's again the treble clef. Let's draw, for example, we are in a 4/4. Let's draw a mini. Today I'm in love with an A. So, with 1 dot, you are adding half of the length, half of the value. So 2 plus 1, because 1 is half of 2, isn't it? So becomes 3 counts. But if I add 1 more dot, what is happening? I am adding half of the value, half of the length of the dot. If the dot is worth 1 count, this is half of 1, is an half count. And this note indeed would be expressed using the values and using the ties, for example, like we did in the previous lesson, yeah? Could be expressed in this way. So the note, then the dot is like a crochet that we tie, and the second dot is like a quaver tied. So this is the result. Minim, crochet, quaver. You see? Because the power of the dot is every single time the one of adding half of the value of the previous, half of the length of the previous note or element. This one half of this one half of this. And here we are. And what if we, and obviously this bar would be completed by 1 more quaver. For example, C. That's all. And then you can draw the bar line. This is now 4 counts in total. And what about a triple dot? A triple dot, now let's change note. Let's use F. F of Fronda, of my last name. You know now with 1 dot, with 2 dots. And what about the third one? The third one obviously is adding half of these. If this one was a quaver, this one, the last one, would be a semiquaver. And here we are. I have to complete it adding maybe now a G of Gianluca. Et voila, G semiquaver. And translated in visible, clear notes, it would be crochet, tied to a quaver, tied to a semiquaver. But obviously nobody will ever write in this way. And obviously completed by another semiquaver. Does it make sense? I hope so. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Then we have half beat, half count, completed by 2 16th or quarters of count. I like to call them either 16th of big bar, or big semi-brief, whole note, or quarters of count, because obviously if you need 16 semiquavers to make big bar, big semi-brief, you need 4 of them to make a crochet, to make a beat, to make a count, a quarter note. And I think that is very clear to you now. Okay? This is about the double dot and the triple dot. And now I think the most exciting part of the lesson is the explanation of the double sharp and the double flat. And double sharp. They are expressed using, so the double flat is expressed using a double B, B&B, like a bed and breakfast. And the double sharp has a very strange sign. The double sharp is expressed using something like an X, but with bold edges. Yeah, like it's up to you, like a St. Andrew cross, like an X, it's up to you. This is in general the way you will find. Okay, now let's try to understand what does it do. Double flat and double sharp, you might say. Oh my god! So we know that the power of the sharp is the one of raising, for example. Let's start now from the sharp, yeah? from this side. So the power of the sharp is one of raising the note. So if you have, for example, an F, you would play, if there is the sharp before, you would play this one, okay, F sharp. But what if we have a double sharp? A double sharp has the power of raising it twice. So two half tones, two semitones, obviously one tone it means. And if I have F, for example, F double sharp, I'm not raising only once, but twice. And this is F double sharp. Obviously today it seems that the word is going upside down in your mind, because you say, come on, this is G. Why are you calling it F double sharp? You are understanding today that the name of the note is a simple conventional thing. We could say that almost doesn't exist any real note. C can be called, for example, now I can easily say, even though I think that I mentioned at least one of the things. So C can also be called B sharp, because if you take the B and you raise it, it becomes B sharp. But now let's indeed introduce the double flat. If I want to say D flat, I would definitely play this one. If I have to play the D flat, I play this one, because this is D, lowering the sound, I go here. But if I want to play D double flat, where do I go? Indeed, same story. I have to lower now the sound of one tone, two flats. 1, 2. Et voila, here we are. I am going to play the one that you know as a C, and finally also the middle C that for many of you was a kind of statement. Now is gone. The notes, the name of the notes is definitely relative. This is all possible thanks to that magic discovery that was made at the beginning of the 18th century, I should say, when then Bach composed the Well-Tempered Clavier. So it was possible because now the distance in between the intervals have been definitely changed. Not anymore, they are not anymore according to the natural scales. I know that this is very complicated for you to be understood, but let's simply say that it's finally possible thanks to a very interesting discovery, scientific discovery that was made the beginning of the 18th century, when the keyboard completely changed the way of tuning the keyboards, and then accordingly obviously also the other instruments changed. Anyways, now you know that you can lower of one tone a sound using the double flat, and you can raise a sound of one tone using the double sharp. Obviously the practical use would be, for example, this one. So you write, today I'm into F and G, after the A, F and G. So if I want to play an F double sharp, so you place these X at the beginning, then you place the note F, and you know that you will have to play the one that we call G, we said, yeah? Usually. This is F double sharp. Or, if you have to play a G, if you want to play a G double flat, you see, they are definitely exchanging now, we are going to play obviously the one that is called usually F. You have to simply be careful that if you are going to write some exercise, because your teacher is asking you to do, you have to write the two flats obviously on the same identical line. Yeah, you have to be careful that they are both on the same identical line of the note. This is the double flat that is referring now to the G. Just to give you some extra example, if I want to, for example, if I want to play a C double flat, C flat would be the one that you call B, C double flat would be the one that we in general call B flat. Indeed, this is the case. C double flat would be the one that I have just called, that I have just played, and indeed is the one that in general you call B flat. Same story if you want to play this one giving a new name. So this one could be called C sharp, C sharp, but can be also called B double sharp. So B double sharp would be, exaggerated, I'm really sorry, but doesn't matter. You know that I'm referring to the B. So B double sharp is exactly this one. So we have checked the F, the G, then the C double flat, C double sharp, I've already told you that would be the one that in general you call D, so obviously you can apply to all of them. There is no, you can have lots of fun. It's really unlikely that you will find in very simple, easy pieces. In general, is used at more advanced levels. But anyways, if you find this explanation easy to be understood, let me know. In case you didn't get something, or you didn't get anything, and you want some extra explanation, feel free to comment and to let me know. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. All the best.